This morning you probably woke up thinking about something missing. A message you're waiting for, an amount of money you need, a shift you hope will finally arrive. And the harder you thought about it, the heavier it felt. Because when your mind is trying to control reality, it doesn't bend, it resists. But here's the strange thing. The moment your body feels safe, reality starts moving toward you. Not because you pushed, but because you finally let the signal of who you are broadcast clearly into the field. What I want to show you today is that in less than half an hour, you can feel this shift. Not intellectually, in your body, in your breath, in your nervous system that's constantly telling the quantum field whether you are open or closed. Most people try to manifest with thoughts, affirmations, lists, scripting. But the field doesn't respond to thoughts alone. It responds to coherence. When your heart and brain are aligned, when your inner state is no longer at war with itself, the observer effect activates in a new way. You're no longer observing from the place of lack. You're observing from the place of already being. And reality bends. Imagine standing in front of a mirror. If you frown, the reflection frowns back instantly. You wouldn't shout at the mirror to smile. You wouldn't beg it to change. But that's exactly how most people treat manifestation, yelling at the reflection, instead of becoming the expression. What if right now you could stop shouting and simply soften into what you want reflected? Think of the times you've tried too hard, waiting for a reply to a text, refreshing your phone, checking again and again. Each refresh is a signal of desperation, and the field listens. It doesn't judge you, it just mirrors. The vibration of, "I don't have it," amplifies. But then think of the times you were absorbed in your life, laughing, at peace, forgetting to check, and suddenly the message arrived. Why? Because you weren't sending the frequency of need. You were sending coherence. You became safe in your own timeline, and the collapse happened naturally. The quantum field is not impressed by force. It is moved by frequency. Right now, notice your breath. If you slow it, your nervous system relaxes. Your heart begins to sync with your brain. This isn't just calming, it's physics. When your heart enters coherence, it creates a measurable electromagnetic field around your body, extending several feet. That field is your signal to reality. That's what bends possibility into probability. Most of us are constantly broadcasting static, fear, urgency, control. The moment you tune it, even slightly, the whole mirror shifts. And here's the thing. You don't need years of practice to feel it. In 30 minutes, you can reset your entire signal. I used to believe manifestation was about convincing the universe to give me something. But the truth is simpler. It's about convincing my nervous system that I'm already safe. Safe to receive, safe to expand, safe to hold more. And when my body relaxes into that truth, I watch as money flows, love appears, opportunities find me. Not because I forced them, but because I became a match to them. The observer effect isn't mystical, it's biological. Your subconscious programs are the observer. Your body's state is the observer, and when those shift, the wave of probability collapses into the reality you're living. So let's begin together. Feel your shoulders drop. Notice the ground beneath you. Ask yourself, if I already had the thing I'm waiting for, how would my body breathe? How would my chest feel? Would there be a loosening, a softening, a slight smile that says, it's already mine? Practice breathing that state now, even for a few moments. You'll notice something subtle. Reality already feels different. You're not pushing, you're not chasing, you're allowing coherence to tune your field. Have you ever noticed the moment you stopped caring? It finally happened? Share your story in the comments. It might unlock someone else's breakthrough. Because the truth is, the quantum field isn't waiting for you to beg. It's waiting for you to remember who you are when you're no longer in resistance. And the shift can begin right here in this breath. When I first discovered this, I thought it was too simple to be true. How could just relaxing into safety change something as big as money or love? But then it happened again and again. The job offer arriving when I stopped worrying. The partner appearing when I let go of forcing. The exact amount of money showing up when I finally released the panic. Each time the same pattern. The mirror can only reflect who I'm being, not what I'm trying to grab. And this is what I want to lead you into over the next few minutes. Not just the idea, but the embodiment. Because when your body learns this signal, reality bends automatically. Not tomorrow, not when you've earned it, but in the timeless now, where coherence lives. The strange part is that your mind will fight this at first. It wants to be in charge, to strategize, to calculate the how and when. It whispers, "But if I don't think about it, won't it slip away? Won't I lose control?" Yet control is the very thing keeping the energy stuck. Imagine holding water in your hand. The tighter you grip, the faster it leaks, but if you cup your palm gently, the water rests there with ease. Manifestation works the same way. The more pressure you put on it, the less it stays. The more safety and space you give, the more it flows toward you. So the question isn't, how do I get it? The real question is, who am I when I stop gripping so tightly? Because that identity is the frequency the field responds to. And here's the paradox: when you stop trying to get, you start becoming. When you become, receiving is inevitable. This is why timelines collapse, not because you demanded it, but because you aligned with the version of yourself who already had it. Picture this. Two parallel versions of you exist right now. In one, you're waiting, doubting, tense. In the other, you're open, soft, grounded. Both versions are equally possible. Which one you inhabit is determined by your body's vibration in this moment. You're not far away from the future you want. It's right beside you, separated only by coherence. And in less than half an hour, you can step into that version by shifting how your nervous system breathes the now. Most people think manifestation is about adding more affirmations, more vision boards, more effort. But it's subtraction, removing the static, the urgency, the protective patterns that scream, "It's not safe to receive." When you take those away, what's left is your natural state of alignment. You were born coherent. Watch any child laugh, play, and receive without questioning if they deserve it. That's coherence. That's why kids manifest with such innocence. They don't block the flow with self-doubt or timelines. They simply are. Right now, check in with yourself. Where in your body feels tense? Is it your jaw, your stomach, your chest? That tension is the signal of gripping, and the field is listening. But the moment you breathe into it, the moment you let your shoulders fall and tell your body, "It's safe now," you change your frequency. Don't underestimate how powerful that is. Entire outcomes can shift from a single exhale into safety. There's a reason miracles often happen when people finally surrender. They stop negotiating with the field. They stop bargaining with time. They stop proving their worth. And in that release, the heart takes over. The heart's electromagnetic field is over 60 times stronger than the brain's. When it becomes coherent, it synchronizes your entire being into a clear broadcast. And the universe, like the mirror, has no choice but to reflect it. Think of someone who's deeply magnetic, not because they're chasing, but because they're resting in their own frequency. You can feel it when they walk into a room. That calm certainty that says, "I already am." That's what bends reality. Not effort, but embodied resonance. And you can feel that same presence in yourself right now. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes, until you realize manifestation isn't something you do. It's who you are when you stop resisting. So ask yourself gently, if it were already mine, how would I walk? How would I laugh? How would I speak? Try it for just a few minutes and watch how your energy rearranges itself. You don't have to wait years for this shift. The timeline collapses the moment your nervous system remembers. It's safe to be the one who already has. And in that state, life bends to meet you. There's a hidden truth about the moments you feel stuck. It's not reality that's frozen. It's your signal. The field is infinitely fluid, constantly reshaping itself in response to who you're being. But when your nervous system is locked in survival mode, your body sends out one command: keep things the same. And that's why even when you visualize or affirm something different, the mirror doesn't change. Because deep down, your body is broadcasting safety in sameness. To shift your timeline, you don't need louder thoughts. You need a safer body. Think of the last time you worried about money. You might have tried to visualize abundance, repeating, "I am wealthy, I am supported." But if your stomach was clenched, if your chest was tight, your signal was saying, "Danger, lack, not enough. The field mirrored that back. This isn't punishment, it's precision. The quantum field doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are embodied in. And here's the beauty. The instant your body shifts into safety, your broadcast changes, and the field responds. Sometimes immediately. This is why people often manifest the thing they've been longing for right after they give up. It's not that giving up magically unlocks it. It's that the act of letting go dissolves the static. The nervous system exhales, the heart reopens, and the broadcast becomes clear again. That's the paradox. The thing you wanted was never far away. It was just waiting for your body to stop bracing against it. Imagine your reality like a radio. Each frequency exists simultaneously. Abundance, love, joy, they're all broadcasting right now. But you can't hear jazz on a rock station. You can't hear love on a fear station. You don't need to create the frequency, you just need to tune into it. And tuning isn't mental effort, it's embodied coherence. That's why trying harder doesn't work. That's why begging doesn't work. But breathing, softening, aligning, that changes everything. I want you to try something with me. Place a hand over your heart. Close your eyes for a moment and think of a time you felt safe even for a second. Maybe lying in the sun, maybe in the arms of someone you loved, maybe laughing so hard you forgot your worries. Let your body remember that feeling now. Breathe into it. That sensation is coherence. That signal tells the field, I am already whole. And when that frequency is stable, reality rearranges itself to reflect it. This is also why urgency is so dangerous to manifestation. Urgency is a signal of unsafety. It says, if I don't have it now, I can't survive. And the field mirrors that panic. But when you release urgency, you open the doorway for timelines to collapse. Suddenly what felt far away is allowed to rush in, because you stopped pushing it away with fear. Here's the wild part. The universe doesn't measure time the way you do. To the field, there's no later. There's only resonance. The moment your frequency matches the reality you desire, it becomes present. That's why breakthroughs can feel instant, because they are. Not because reality took time to change, but because you finally tuned into the broadcast that was always there. So right now, if there's something you've been waiting on, pause the waiting, feel into your body and ask, is there anywhere I'm still bracing, still gripping? Breathe softness into that space. Let your nervous system know it's safe, even here, even now. That shift is enough to bend the mirror. When I first started to understand this, I realized how many years I had been living in a contradiction. On one hand, I was saying all the right things, affirmations about love, wealth, purpose. On the other, my body was whispering, it's not safe yet. And the field wasn't listening to my words, it was listening to my vibration. That's why results felt delayed, why nothing seemed to land. It wasn't that manifestation didn't work, it was that I was broadcasting two different signals, and the stronger one always wins. The subconscious mind is the hidden observer here. It records every past experience and turns them into programs. Love isn't safe. Money is unstable. Being seen is dangerous. Those programs aren't just thoughts. They live in your nervous system, shaping the electromagnetic signal your heart sends out. This is why manifestation feels impossible when you try to fight those programs with surface positivity. You can repeat, I am abundant all day, but if your subconscious believes that abundance equals stress, your body will shut the door before the field can open it. But here's the key, the subconscious isn't your enemy. It's just trying to keep you safe. And when you show your body through breath and presence that it can be safe even with more love, more money, more freedom, that's when the programs rewrite. That's when the observer effect shifts and the reality you've been craving becomes the one you're living. Think of it like this. Manifestation is not about force. It's about familiarity. The subconscious only allows what feels familiar, what feels survivable. That's why people often recreate the same relationships, the same struggles, the same cycles, not because they want to, but because it feels known. The unknown, even if it's better, feels unsafe. So if you want to bend reality, you must make the new reality feel safe in your body first. Try this with me. Imagine the thing you desire most right now, Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's money, maybe it's a new chapter in life. Now instead of asking, how do I get it? Ask your body, would it feel safe to hold this? Notice what comes up. Maybe your chest tightens. Maybe your stomach clenches. That's not failure. That's the exact doorway to coherence. Instead of forcing positivity, breathe safety into that tightness. Whisper to your body, it's okay now. We can hold this. It's safe to receive. Do you see how different this is from chasing? Chasing keeps your body in the state of not having. Safety shifts you into the state of already being. And once you're there, you don't have to convince the field. The field mirrors automatically. This is also why surrender is so powerful. True surrender isn't giving up. It's giving your body permission to stop fighting, to stop gripping the old frequency, to stop demanding certainty. In that openness, you discover a deeper truth. The universe isn't testing you, it's tuning you. Every delay, every detour is not punishment, it's calibration. The field is aligning with your coherence, waiting for the moment you can receive without bracing. Think of how a door opens. You don't slam against it with force, you turn the handle gently, and the whole thing swings open with ease. That's how reality bends. Not with struggle, but with alignment. The handle is your nervous system. The door is the field. And the room beyond it? That's the version of you who already has what you desire. So pause for a moment. Breathe again. Feel your body soften just a little more. Notice how even in these few minutes something feels lighter, clearer, more possible. That's the beginning of the shift. You don't need to wait. You're already in it. There's a secret you only start to notice once you practice this. Reality bends in subtle ways first. A chance encounter. A phrase you overhear at the exact right moment. A small opportunity that seems insignificant but carries the exact frequency of what you've been asking for. Most people dismiss these signs because they're waiting for the big manifestation. But the field speaks in echoes before it roars. It's testing, not if you're worthy, but if you're willing to recognize coherence as it begins to ripple outward. I remember one time when I was desperate for money. I kept checking my bank account, refreshing it every hour. Each refresh was like a knife in my chest, a signal of fear. Then one day, after I finally surrendered, I walked into a coffee shop and found a forgotten $20 bill on the floor. My first thought was, this isn't enough. I need so much more. But then I realized, the field was showing me. The channel is open, the frequency is landing. And within a week, the larger flow came. If I had dismissed that first sign as meaningless, I would have missed the proof that my vibration had already shifted. That's why gratitude is not just a moral teaching, it's a quantum tool. Gratitude tells your nervous system, it's already safe, it's already happening. Each moment of recognition stabilizes the signal, allowing the bigger timelines to collapse with ease. Gratitude is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about acknowledging coherence as it reveals itself in small, tangible ways. Now let's talk about the mirror again, because this is crucial. Most people stand in front of the mirror and say, I'll feel abundant when I see abundance. I'll feel loved when I see love. But the mirror doesn't work that way. You smile first, the reflection smiles back. You soften first, the reflection softens back. The quantum field is simply an infinite mirror. If you keep waiting for proof before you embody the state, you'll wait forever. The moment you choose to embody it now, reality has no choice but to respond. So here's a practice you can try today. For the next 30 minutes, choose one state you want to embody. Peace, love, abundance, and breathe as though it's already here. Walk as though it's already here. Speak as though it's already here. Not in a forced, performative way, but in a quiet, cellular way. Let your nervous system get familiar with the sensation. That 30 minutes is enough to begin collapsing timelines because you're teaching your body safety in the new frequency. And here's the paradox again. When you practice this, you no longer care about the timeline. You're not waiting for proof, you're living as proof. And that is the exact state where reality bends fastest, because urgency dissolves, resistance dissolves. You're no longer outside of your desire, reaching for it. You're inside of it, breathing it, becoming it. Think of the last time something big happened in your life. A relationship, an opportunity, a windfall. If you look closely, You'll see there were micro moments that prepared you for it. Tiny alignments, subtle shifts in how you felt about yourself, small signs from the field. The big moment was simply the mirror catching up to who you had already become. That's why it felt sudden, but it wasn't. You were broadcasting the signal long before it arrived. Right now, feel the truth of this. Nothing you desire is actually far away. The only distance is the gap between your current signal and the one you're becoming, and that gap can close in an instant. In fact, as you're listening, it's already closing, because your body is remembering safety. And safety is the doorway through which all manifestation flows. Here's what most people never realize. Reality doesn't shift because you figure it out. It shifts because you feel it out. The mind wants maps, steps, guarantees. But the field only speaks vibration. If you've ever felt that strange relief when you finally stop overthinking, that's why breakthroughs happen in those moments. Your mind steps aside and your frequency becomes clear. Reality bends not in the noise of thought, but in the silence of being. Take relationships as an example. Maybe you've been longing for a message, a call, a sign of affection. You send energy toward it, you imagine it, but beneath all that effort, your body is buzzing with fear. What if they don't love me? What if I'm abandoned again? That fear is the real signal, no matter what your words say. And the mirror reflects it. Distance, silence, rejection. Then one day, when you finally relax, when you say, "I'm okay either way," suddenly the text appears. Not because the other person changed overnight, but because your signal did. You tuned from fear to safety, and the mirror had no choice but to shift with you. This is the essence of quantum manifestation. It's not about controlling the reflection, it's about becoming the source. When your inner state stabilizes, reality becomes liquid in your hands. It molds around you, bending to match your resonance. And here's the key. This isn't something you strain to hold, it's something you relax into. Think about it. The moments you felt most magnetic, most alive, weren't forced. They were effortless, you were simply being. The nervous system is the gateway. It holds the switches between timelines. When you're dysregulated, stuck in survival, it keeps you locked on the frequency of lack. When you regulate, through breath, through stillness, through coherence, it unlocks new frequencies that were always there but hidden from view. That's why two people can walk into the same room, and one sees opportunity everywhere, while the other only sees obstacles. The difference isn't the room, it's the signal. So let's make this practical. For the next few moments, bring your attention to your breath. Notice the inhale, notice the exhale. Let each exhale be slightly longer, signaling to your body, we are safe now. Feel your shoulders loosen, your chest open. As your nervous system relaxes, notice the subtle shift in perception. What felt impossible a moment ago feels softer, closer, even inevitable. That's the beginning of reality bending. Not fireworks, not dramatic effort, just a steady tuning of the signal. This is also why control collapses manifestation. Control is rooted in fear, fear that if you don't manage every detail, it won't happen. But fear only broadcasts more lack. Surrender, on the other hand, is rooted in trust, and trust broadcasts abundance. When you release control, you tell the field, I already am, I already have, I already belong. That frequency collapses timelines faster than any amount of forcing ever could. Think of water again. If you thrash in the ocean, you sink. But if you let go, the water carries you. Manifestation is the same. The more you fight, the heavier it feels. The more you trust, the more life lifts you into alignment. This isn't passive, it's powerful. Because trust is not nothing. It's a frequency, a signal, a vibration of coherence, and coherence is the only language the field understands. So pause and feel this with me. What if the thing you're chasing isn't ahead of you at all? What if it's already here, waiting for you to soften enough to receive it? Notice how your body feels when you hold that thought. Do you exhale? Do you unclench? That's the signal. That's the shift. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes, until bending reality feels less like a miracle and more like the most obvious thing in the world. There comes a moment when you realize manifestation isn't about summoning something new. It's about recognizing what's already woven into your field. The money, the love, the opportunity, it all exists in potential the way radio stations already exist before you turn the dial. You don't build the station, you tune into it. And the tuning is always happening through your emotional state, your nervous system, your embodiment. That's why the question isn't, when will it arrive, but what frequency am I broadcasting right now? This explains why chasing never works. Chasing says, it's not here yet, so I need to run after it. But the signal of chasing only amplifies absence. The field doesn't punish you, it mirrors you. If you broadcast lack, lack reflects. If you broadcast safety, abundance reflects. And the subtle shift happens when you stop asking, where is it? And start asking, who am I when it's already here? That question bypasses the mind and drops you into embodiment. Let's make this tangible. Imagine you're waiting for someone to choose you. You keep checking your phone, hoping for their message. Each check is an energetic whisper of, I'm not chosen yet. The mirror repeats it. But if you decide here and now to embody the frequency of already being chosen, your shoulders soften, your breath deepens, your body relaxes, then suddenly you carry a magnetic presence. People feel it, opportunities feel it. The reflection shifts, not because you begged it to, but because you became it. This is where identity comes in. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest who you are willing to become. And becoming isn't acting or pretending. It's shifting into the version of you that feels safe enough to live as if it's already done. That safety radiates out as coherence, and coherence collapses timelines. Suddenly, what looked like a 10-year journey unfolds in a matter of weeks. Not because reality sped up, but because you finally tuned in to the version of you who already lives it. Now here's the part that can feel almost uncomfortable: allowing good things to actually land. Many people block manifestation at the final step, not because they can't attract it, but because they can't hold it. Their nervous system is still wired for struggle, for scarcity, for disappointment. So when the love arrives, when the money lands, when the opportunity knocks, they sabotage it. Not consciously, but because their body says, this is unfamiliar, and unfamiliar isn't safe. This is why embodiment matters more than visualization. It's not enough to see it. You must train your body to feel safe holding it. So try this right now. Picture your desire fully realized. See yourself in the scenario. Now, notice what happens in your body. Do you tense? Do you doubt? Do you shrink? Or do you expand, soften, and breathe deeper? If tension arises, don't judge it. That's the exact edge where transformation happens. Instead of forcing it away, breathe safety into it. Show your body that love, abundance, success are not threats, they're safe. The more you practice this, the more your subconscious reprograms, and once your subconscious believes it's safe, manifestation becomes automatic. The field is listening not to your thoughts, but to your safety. Safety is the ultimate signal, and when you stabilize in it, reality bends around you like metal to a magnet. You don't need to run, beg, or prove. You simply allow, and the allowing is enough. Here's the final truth I want you to feel in your bones. You are not waiting for reality to bend. Reality is waiting for you. The moment you step into coherence, the mirror shifts instantly. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes, until manifestation is no longer something you do, it's simply who you are. Every breath, every step, every glance becomes a broadcast, and the field reflects it faithfully. Think of how life feels when you're aligned. Time stretches. Synchronicities multiply. The right people show up at the exact right moment. Opportunities feel effortless, as though the universe is conspiring in your favor. That's not random. That's resonance. You've tuned into the frequency where those realities already exist, and they magnetize toward you as naturally as a reflection follows your smile. This is why 30 minutes can change everything. In 30 minutes of embodied safety, you begin to rewire your nervous system, shift your subconscious programs, and stabilize your signal. And once the signal is clear, the field responds immediately. The timeline collapses, the waiting dissolves, and what once felt impossible feels inevitable. Not because you forced it, but because you finally allowed yourself to be it. Let yourself imagine, what would your life look like if you embodied this every day? Not chasing, not gripping, Simply aligning, breathing, embodying. Can you see how different your relationships would feel? How money would flow with less resistance? How opportunities would arrive without strain? This is not fantasy. It's physics. The field has no choice but to mirror the coherence you embody. And the more you live this way, the more you realize something profound. Manifestation was never about getting what you want. It was about remembering who you already are. A being of frequency, a broadcaster of resonance, a creator whose safety and coherence bend the fabric of reality itself. So as you finish listening, take a deep breath. Feel your body soften. Know that the shift has already begun. Not tomorrow, not someday, but right here, right now. Reality is already bending around you. The only thing left is to live as though it's true, because it is. And when you walk away from this, notice the signs. Notice the subtle shifts. Notice how the field responds to your new signal. Each moment of recognition strengthens the coherence, and each breath carries you deeper into the life you've been asking for. Not with force, with frequency. Not by chasing, by becoming. Because you are not separate from the quantum field. You are it. And the moment you embody that truth, everything changes. Reality bends, timelines collapse, and what once felt far away is suddenly here, within reach, within breath, within being.